What is going on, guys? It's King JRBDG here, and I'm back for episode 2 of King's Corner. Now, I know I missed Friday's episode. I wasn't feeling too good Friday and Saturday, and I wasn't in the right. I couldn't make a video. So today, I'll be covering both my Monday and Friday topics. Um, Luckily, there still wasn't many that I had to talk about Friday and Saturday, so it's not like a lot got lost, because I'm gonna have to shut stuff up to keep the video at a decent length. But there wasn't much to talk about. So, actually, more Friday stuff than Monday stuff, so there's that. Let's start. First, Flappy Bird got taken down off the App Store. I found that funny. Nothing big. I really find it funny because I feel like a lot of the rage that comes from that is not deserving. I play it when I'm bored, and never have I got incredibly angry at it. Like people are always saying it makes you rage, it makes you so angry. No, it doesn't. Um, I actually find it kind of calming, which is weird. Maybe it's just me. But the reason I decided to talk about this, sorry, the reason I decided to talk about this was because I find it odd how everybody's so up in arms that they're taking it down from the App Store. Just download it. It's not like if they take it down from the App Store and Google Play that it gets taken off your phone. You could still keep it. I mean, I don't see why the issue is. Just download it and keep it. Don't delete it. Now, if you change phones, that could be an issue, but that's your problem. The other half that I found kind of ridiculous is that they're selling phones and tablets on eBay that have Flappy Bird, and they're selling from anywhere to $309,000. Like, what the hell? No one needs a phone and tablet that runs that just or for that much money just because it runs Flappy Bird. Like, it's a free game. Come on, people. If you really need it, jailbreak your device. I'm sure they'll have it. Or just play one of the many ripoffs of Flappy Bird. It's the same damn thing. And the other thing I found interesting that you can read this. I'm going to link all the articles I talk about it in the description. The guy that made it, I forget his name, it's like Don something, got accused by Kotaku of stealing a lot of Mario images, like the flying fish as Flappy Bird, the pipes, the background. And I can see it, but who cares? It was a completely different game with a completely different motive. Whatever, let him steal it. It's not a big deal. Oh, and if you're wondering, we're in the hat because my hair's a mess, and this was closer than a brush. So it's pretty much whatever's in arm's reach I'll use, so I'm just wearing my hat. And another new piece of technology that I got linked to by a friend. Found this kind of interesting, and I never really thought about it before, but it's pretty decent technology. Toilet seat with a nightlight built in. Like, why is this a thing? I can see where it's helpful, but is it really necessary? Like, come on now. You really need a nightlight built into your toilet seat? Maybe, okay, it's kind of a luxury, just something interesting to have. But is it really necessary? I don't think so. Yeah, I understand. Turn on the light in the middle of the night kills your eyes. Use your phone. Everybody has a flashlight on their phone. Like, if you don't have a flashlight on your phone, which is modern technology, like just basic technology at this point, an LED flash on your phone that could be used as a flashlight. Why are you getting a new toilet seat? Like, you should be upgrading your phone or something. Come on. I'd like to see. I didn't get a chance to look up how much it cost. I do find it interesting. If it's like $20, all right, I could see that because I know it runs off of AA batteries or whatever. It's pretty interesting. It's an odd little device. And then now that's those. The last article I want to talk about is quite interesting. It's quite disturbing, I guess. In Oakland, California, there have been Google buses, like buses that transport Google employees from point A to the Google headquarters, that have been getting attacked by like protesters in Oakland. They've been slashing tires, they've been throwing rocks through windows, all this kind of crazy stuff. And I don't want to say they have motive behind it because they shouldn't do it, but they are mad because Google being there has brought a lot of people to that neighborhood, and because of it, it has raised rent prices and caused a lot of evictions because Oakland doesn't have, it's not a very high or even middle class place. It's a lot of lower class people who live paycheck to paycheck on low living standards, and if their rent gets raised, they can't pay it and they get evicted. And I understand they're angry, but you can't blame Google. You blame your landlords for raising the rent just because they seized the opportunity. Now, the one case I did hear about is an employee bought somebody's house for like $400,000, and the guy was being evicted because this other dude bought his house. And that I think that man has a legitimate reason to be angry. He was renting a house. I want to know if he was under contract, because if he's under contract with his landlord and the landlord just blatantly sold his house, then he has a good court case to take. Be like, look, I was under contract, and my landlord just blatantly sold my house just because it was a lot of money, and that violates our contract. If that's the case, then the man has a good point. He should take it to court because he can get a lot of money out of his landlord. And like Google has resorted to shipping their people through the bay on ferries to keep them safe. All right, I'm back. The phone ran out of memory right in the middle of the ending part of that last segment, so there'd just be a little edit, whatever. So the last thing I was talking about was the Google thing, and now I want to go into some, I don't want to say stories, but experiences I've had over the last week. I finally was able to download and play the Bioshock Infinite DLC. This is all gaming related, by the way. Oh, how did I miss this? There was one more topic I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry. This was just, I found this ironic and kind of funny. The CEO of PayPal had his credit card information stolen. I just find it funny, and then the dude went on like a shopping spree. I don't know, I just found it funny that the CEO of PayPal had his credit card stolen. And when he tweeted about it, he was saying, if only blah 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 accepted PayPal, because he was somewhere in Europe. It's kind of like a free shot to promote his company. I don't know, I found it kind of interesting. More ironic than anything. And he was using I think it was called an EV chip. EV chip, is that what they called on credit cards? They're like more secure than the magnetic strips. He was using that too, but I forget what they're called. And he still even got his information stolen even with that like better chip. So that's just something to think about. Nothing's safe. And that one to the two things I wanted to talk about. Over the past week, I finally downloaded and installed the Bioshock Infinite DLC, Buried at Sea, Episode 1. Yeah, Burial at Sea, Episode 1. And even though it was only about an hour and a half, well, I would say about hour 45, 2 hours of gameplay, because I'm the kind of person that goes around and loots every single thing and checks every corner and that kind of stuff. Even though it was only like an hour and a half, 2 hours of gameplay, it was still a really good DLC, and it was impressive. It revealed a lot about, and I don't want to say it revealed a lot. It was very insightful about like more possibilities of the Bioshock universe. It was informative and very dark, which I liked. And I never got to play the first two Bioshocks. I played Infinite and loved it. It is, I don't want to, I want to say this, but I don't. Probably the second best single player game I have ever played. One being The Last of Us, and then two being Bioshock Infinite. It's incredible. It's just such an amazing game. Very emotionally connecting, satisfying, and actually good escort quest. Because most of the times you gotta escort somebody somewhere in a game, you're like, sucks, I gotta watch out for this idiot, they're gonna die every 5 minutes. But no, with Elizabeth, you get a nice companion and all. And you see that again in this DLC. It's a different version of Elizabeth, but she's still that same companion. She still gives you ammo, health. What was it called? Eve? Yeah, it was called Eve in the DLC. It wasn't called Salts. They were called Eve, that like use your little powers with. She got a new one of those, new power, which was interesting. Ice. I still stuck with mainly the Devil's Kiss. I like that one. Yeah, I think it's called Devil's Kiss. Sorry, baggages. So, if you liked Bioshock Infinite, definitely get the DLC and try it out. It was very good. The ending was the ending was shocking, and that was where it got really dark. Like you started to see these different possibilities, because I don't want to spoil anything for those who haven't played the first Bioshock, or not played Bioshock Infinite. I mean, but you got to see more of the constants and variables that was talked about in the storyline. I don't want to spoil anything, but that really does play a toll, and it's even mentioned once by Elizabeth, showing that she does have knowledge of the multiverse. And it was just a very good DLC overall. Hard. It was rather challenging too. I died a lot. Like I probably died, I'd say about three-quarters as much as I died in the entirety of Infinite. I don't know if I played on a higher difficulty. I don't remember what I played Infinite on. But it was definitely challenging. Definitely a good playthrough DLC single player why do I keep trying to say PS3? Definitely a good single player DLC worth the $15, and I'm glad I got it. I'm waiting for the second one where you get to play as Elizabeth, because I think playing as Elizabeth will give you a whole nother side to the Bioshock universe, just being able to take on this different role. I'm hoping you get to do something with Tears as her. I mean, you're gonna have to. They're gonna have to let you do something with Tears, but I hope it's more than just press F to open a tear here. I hope you get to use it in some kind of offensive way as well. But that's yet to be seen. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was I got invited to play the Elder Scrolls Online beta over this weekend. It was phenomenal. I just got into Skyrim. I never played any Elder Scroll games. About a month ago, I downloaded Skyrim, played it, loved it, and so I was like, I might as well sign up for the Elder Scrolls beta. I might get a chance to come play, and I did. And I was like all psyched up, like, yeah, play some Elder Scrolls Online. It took forever to download. It took like, wow, what did it take? It took like 6, 7 hours to download, and I don't know why. Like, I was stuck at downloading at a 1 megabit per second download speed, and then it jumped to 40 for like an hour and downloaded 30-40% of the game, and then dropped back down to 1% or 1 megabit download speed and just go. It was like 1% every 4 minutes. It was horrible. Finally, it downloaded. I played for about 10 minutes, and they shut it down for unscheduled maintenance, and I was pissed. But then I played it. Once that was done, I played it more. Only played probably about 2.5 hours of it overall. But what I did play, because I got glitched for a while in a quest, and I got aggravated and kind of was just like, I gave up on it for the rest of Saturday. Came back Sunday, it unglitched, I fixed whatever the glitch was and continued progressing. Um, Beautiful game. The graphics are outstanding. The visuals, especially for a open world kind of thing, were spot on. Props to, props to the devs. And one thing that's definitely stood out to me, and anybody who played the first, or any of the Elder Scroll games in Skyrim will know this, you don't have to have spells equipped to use them now. Like, in Skyrim, because that's the one I played, Skyrim's the only one I played, you have to have a spell equipped to your hands in order to use it. You don't have to do that. You have your two main weapons, and that's your, like, mouse buttons, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think tab, something like that, as abilities, as your spells. So I think all classes can use spells, but going as the sorcerer gives you, like, you rely on them more, and that's what I always do. So, very fun game. Very, what's the word? Oh, God, what is that word? Immersive. Very immersive. In the short time I played, met a lot of different people. Explored. I only got to the first place, but it comes out I think on 4/14. It's early April, early to mid-April. Can't wait. Definitely buying it. If I can't really say too much more about it because there was some license agreement where you can't really say or show anything, so I can't say much. But I will say this: it's spot on. They do need to fix some glitches here and there, but definitely worth buying if you're a fan of Elder Scrolls, any of the single player ones. Seems like it has good multiplayer as well. I didn't get to play with anybody because none of my friends signed up for the beta. But from what I saw, definitely has a lot of connectivity options. Oh, and this was really pleasing, really shocking, really gave me really made me good it made me feel good for being a part of it. The people in the game, very kind and very willing to help each other out. Like when I got that glitch, my main quest was glitched. And it wouldn't show me what to do or where to go. So I kept asking people, and everybody's like, "Yeah, it's a glitch. We don't know how to fix it yet." But even though nobody could help me with my problem, and it eventually just kind of went away on its own, they were people constantly helping each other out, talking back and forth in chat, in the zone chat. I have this problem. Oh, you got to do this. Blah blah blah. Very helpful community. Community was just incredibly connected and willing to help and selfless. It was good to be part of it. So props to anybody who beta tested and was helping out. I helped out where I could, though it wasn't much, because, like I said, I didn't get much experience. I only played about 2.5 hours. So in that 2.5 hours, I only accrued so much knowledge to help others out. So that's my experience with the ESO. And other just updates. Saturday, when I was sick, started watching Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad, and now I can't stop. I actually had to, I almost forgot to do this video because I was too busy playing League and watching Game of Thrones because the shows are addicting, and I'm hoping to get through all of Game of Thrones before the new season starts and just watch Breaking Bad when I can. It's already over. And then The Walking Dead just came back on. Stellar mid-season premiere. Definitely lived up to what it needed to. So anybody who doesn't watch any of those shows, you might check them out. Definitely quality. A lot of quality goes into those shows. Alright, so that is all for King's Corner. I will see you Friday. Yeah, Friday. As long as there's news, I'll be reporting. Oh, watch out. If there's no news Friday, I'm doing it Friday. Like if I can't find anything to report on by Thursday, I'm gonna. Sorry guys, I'm really tired. If I can't find any news to report on by Thursday, I'm gonna do this for a long episode Friday. If I do find stuff, I'm gonna do it for Monday. I want to do a somewhat in-depth review of the Ken Ham debate. If you don't know what the Ken Ham debate is, not Ken Ham, the Nyham debate. What it was Bill Nye the Science Guy debating Ken Ham, who was the founder of the Creationist Museum and CEO of Answers in Genesis, and they were debating whether Ken Ham's creationist theory was a viable theory of where humans came from and like whether it was viable to be taught in schools. So it was about a 2.5 hour debate, and I just finished watching it 2 days ago because I was watching it in pieces. I didn't watch it live. So I do want to do an in-depth review on that, give my opinion, stuff like that, because it was very interesting. That's the kind of stuff I'm into. I never thought I'd be into that when I was younger. Never thought that would be the kind of stuff that I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that, but now it is. So anybody who likes that kind of stuff, look forward to that video. And that's all the channel news for right now. See you Friday, guys. I'm King. Peace out. Stay real.